right, so as far as school goes and as far as college goes, well, high school and college, see, school, high school, and schooling in general from like K to 12 is the longest amount of time that you will ever spend in any institution that is mandated by the government unless you go to jail. So no matter how big your high school was, and I went to a huge high school, I went to Patrick Medford High School. I think my graduating class was close to 800 kids, and so no matter how big your high school is, like you're going to run into the same people all the time, and these people have been friends, for 10 to 13 years. Like some people are like, oh yeah, we've been friends since third grade. People say that we've been friends since kindergarten. They say that as juniors and seniors in high school. So it's only natural that you're going to develop cliques when the same people are together for extended period of time. It's natural. When you go to college, nobody knows anyone. Everyone's new, especially if you're in your freshman year. So they don't know if you were a loner or if you were the prom king or queen, and nobody really cares. And so one of the reasons I ended up going to Rutgers is because like if I met someone and I didn't like them, well, there was 42,000 people at Rutgers, so I didn't have to see them anymore. It's pretty simple. I hung out with the people I liked, and I didn't hang out with the people I don't liked, and it's really that easy. You don't run into them again. My freshman year, I roomed with football players, and football players. There's a lot of testosterone in the room, so it's just kind of how it goes. There's competition, we compete over everything, whether it was cracking jokes on each other, or whether it was playing, Madden or video games, or whatever. Other than school, there wasn't really a competition with grades of football players, but some of them, maybe the really smart ones, but the kickers, I guess. But the competition was always there, and whether it was whatever it was. And so that was just how it is. So when I wanted to be a part of that atmosphere, whether it was weightlifting or whatever it was, the competitive testosterone, I was in that atmosphere. I stayed, hung around with my roommates. When I didn't want to be a part of that atmosphere, I wanted to relax, then I went and hung out with some other people who weren't competing all the time for anything. So you can hang out with whoever you want, and nobody cares. In high school, everyone has the same patterns. Their lockers in the same place for an entire year. They walk the same patterns. You can find people just based upon once you find out their pattern. Most classes are in the same place. All the sciences in this area. All the English classes are down that hall. Everything's usually in the same place. So it's not uncommon to have 2, 3, 4, 5 classes, with the same people or the same kids being in 4 or 5 year classes. In college, if you have 2 classes with the same person in it, unless you actually planned it out together, it's a small miracle. And so you just don't see the same people don't hang around enough to form a clique, unless unless it's roommates or a couple people on the dorm, but that's really not really a big deal. And so and on another note, nobody really cares how popular we're in high school. It's just high school popularity. Once you get to college, it totally disappears. And now if you were really popular in high school, hopefully it was because you had a good personality and people liked you and you just made friends, not just because you threw the best parties or whatnot. And so, but when you're in college is a clean slate. In college, popular doesn't even really exist. Who knows who's popular or not? I don't know and who cares? So it just that whole thing disappears again, because you're not doing the same things at the same places at the same times with everyone else. So there are ample opportunities to meet new people. There's ample opportunities to meet new friends and to be friends with people who I had like 7 different groups of friends in college, and none of them knew each other, and none of them ever met each other. And I wanted to go hang out here, hang out there. You don't have to hang out with the same types of people all the time. And every year, by the way, you'll be living with different people, unless you find like a roommate or somebody that you're like, I love, we're good together, and I like living with this person, and you pick rooming together. But you could deal with different people. Every year, a class graduates, a new class comes in, and that's just kind of how it goes. And so, by the way, talking about that, nobody really cares what year you are in college. It's not like high school. If you're a freshman, usually you talk to someone and they kind of know you're a freshman if you ask them some questions, if you're walking around with like a map of the school. But that's usually after like 2 weeks you stop doing that. But the point is, people don't go, oh, you're a freshman, oh, I don't want to talk to you, you're a sophomore, you're a junior. Like, it doesn't matter. Really, nobody even cares. And so So you don't have to worry about all this stuff. The only time that comes into play a little bit is if you're like pledging a sorority or fraternity. They don't really care if you're a freshman or a sophomore. It's just you're a pledge, so they treat you that way. Or if you're on a sports team, if you're a freshman, you get treated a little bit differently as far as that goes because you're a freshman, you don't really know. And the only reason that happens is because those people are together. Like with football, I was with the team a lot, when we had camp and football camp and stuff. So everyone knew each other. We had to be in the same places. So cliques form. But for the rest of the people, that doesn't exist. And, it's... By the way, talking about being cool, okay, quote unquote cool or uncool, if you want to know an uncool thing to do in high school is to walk around bragging about your high school success. Nobody cares. Nobody wears around their high school ring. Nobody wears their high school jackets around in college. Nobody really cares if you were the valedictorian, or if you threw the best parties, or if you were the class clown. In your college, nobody cares about that stuff. You can't be a class clown. How are you going to be a class clown? You have one class with the same people, and the next class people don't know you are. You're going to be a clown in every single class. And then, most class clowns or people who are popular or funny or whatnot, it's because they're in the halls or in lunchtime and gym and all that kind of stuff in high school, not during actual school. And in college, people are like, you look weird. So you look kind of weird walking around with your big, gaudy, high school ring and your high school jacket, varsity champions or something. Nobody cares. So it's just funny to me. It's fun. In high school, it's really important. It's really cool. It's good to have those things. But once you get to college, people don't wear that stuff anymore. It's just it doesn't matter. So forget about it. So everything that you learned in high school as far as social interactions, forget it. Throw them out. College is new, and if you're a commuter in college, you'll know this for sure. It's even more new because you just go to school and you take your classes, then you go home. So hopefully, you watch some of our other videos talk about joining some clubs and being involved in the school. But the point is that there's not a lot of interaction with other people, especially if you're a commuter. You're not even living there, so you don't have to worry about that stuff either. So if you're worried about that in college and people, the cliques and all that kind of stuff, and if you weren't one of the popular kids in high school or you only hung out with a couple your small group, don't worry about it when you get to college. It all starts over, and it's not a big deal.